Welcome back. You're watching the market, and there's been an intensification of selling over the past 10 minutes or so, but the cuts are not too deep. On the benchmark Nifty 50, it's just broken below the 17,400 mark in trade right now, with cuts of about 0.5%. But, ICICI Securities has come out with a report that says that a yield and growth curves indicate a sweet spot for stock picking within diverse economic activities. And the author of that report, Vinod Karki, who is at the head of strategy at ICICI Securities, is joining in to tell us what he found and what that report contains. Good morning, Mr. Karki, and thank you so much for taking the time. Could you take us through what the research report was supposed to cover? What was the idea behind the report?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so you see, the general narrative that you hear in the market is that the market is extremely expensive, close to one standard deviation as compared to long-term averages. But if you break it up, it hides a lot of nuances in terms of valuation and growth outlook. Typically investors go for stocks because they want to chase growth, they want higher growth. So if you were to plot the growth outlook, wherever there is high growth outlook on expectations beyond, let's say, FY22 to 24, the valuations are pretty high, right? And as the growth expectations taper, the valuations get lower and lower. But what we found that this is a rational expectation because you would want to give higher valuations to high growth stocks. But because of excessive optimism and pessimism at the extremes, you tend to overdo this correlation. At one extreme, you'll find stocks which are more than, let's say, 60, 70, 80p, 100p, which are yielding less than 1%, even losses, but valuations are high. But at the other extreme, you have stocks which are yielding way above 10% on FY24 basis, which is much higher than the bond yield of around 6%. While the growth may be lower, but it is still there. It's not as if they are going to contract on growth. But the sweet spot that we talked about were the stocks where, the yield is quite reasonable, quite good, 5% and above. And the growth we are expecting over, let's say, where the base effects go away, which is basically FY22 to 24, the growth will be higher than the nominal GDP of around 13% that is expected in our economy. So these are the stocks and the areas, where we highlighted that, the growth is above the nominal GDP, whereas the valuations are quite reasonable that way, And at the extremes, you have those high expectation stocks where the valuations are very high, 60, 70, 80p and above. And on the other hand, you have, very low P stocks, but where there are growth, worries, So that was the idea, to kind of give the breakup of the headline number, which doesn't give you much information beyond saying that, the market is very expensive. So that was the idea behind this report. And we found these areas, these sweet spot areas, in areas like banking, the mortgage lenders, even new age economy stocks like the digital infrastructure, pharma and things like that. So these are some of the spots we found interesting from a growth and valuation perspective. Yeah.
Mr. Karki, so you've taken us through, in fact, you've also told us which sectors you found that were interesting, but I'm just wondering if there were any commonalities in the stocks that you did find in terms of their size, in terms of their market capitalization, are they market leaders, for example? What was common among them?
Yeah. So first of all, for this very exercise, what we did was, instead of taking sector averages and all, which again hides a lot of nuances, because there are idiosyncratic cases within sectors. Some stocks are high growth, low growth, and just mixes up everything. What we have done for this yield curve and the growth curve is just taken the absolute market leaders, the biggest companies, and observed what is their growth and yield, basically. So bulk of these stocks that we have highlighted also, and which are in the whole yield curve that we've shown, are the de facto market leaders, and how their growth outlook is spanned. So one is that they should be market leaders, right? Because the expectation we have seen in the past, the expectations can be belied. I mean, you can have disappointment on expectations where you go down the quality curve, or rather the less known companies, and which are not well covered or well analyzed by the street or by analysts. There you can have worries around whether those forecasts can be relied upon or not. But these are the absolute leaders where the quality of forecast is good, the price discovery is good. So despite that, if you have these kind of sweet spots, I think so that's a commonality. One, that these are what you should say, the market leaders in their section, in their sectors. The growth outlook is better than the nominal GDP growth, whereas the yields are above 5%, the ones we have selected. Yeah.
So you've spoken about irrationality at the extreme ends of the earnings yield curve. Is that indicative that there is extreme optimism on either end, and therefore those that are also on the lower end of the scale, that they have significant potential at this point? Is that how you understand it?
Absolutely. So we have said that while the investor expectation is rational, that as you expect lower and lower growth, you should be getting, you should not get, higher valuation. But that correlation can get it can get irrational at the extreme because of excessive optimism. So what I mean is, some areas in the economy are expected to grow faster, but the absolute optimism and euphoria results in valuations really getting stretched. So that leaves very little expected returns in the long term. You get only moderate or even lower returns if they don't fail to make up to the expectations. While on the other side, certain areas like, I can name them, the energy, some of these other old economy stocks, the earnings yield are way above 10%, so which is, and it's not as if they are not going to grow. These businesses will grow, albeit at a lower rate, not the high growth. So, but then on a relative basis, on a relative to bonds kind of analysis, I think they are still cheaper, and there is chance that some of these excesses on the valuation can kind of correct themselves over a period of time. Giving the stocks at the, high yield area of the market upside risk, while on the where the optimism is very high, the margin of safety is lower. So there are chances that some of these stocks may give you for a longer period of time.
Absolutely. Mr. Karki, thank you so much for joining in and for giving us those insights into the report that you penned. As always, a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
We have to slip into a short break.